From Parfit Park in Golden, Colorado, it's the 1992 World Footbag Championships. Hi, everybody. I'm Irv Brown. Welcome to Golden, home of the WFA. This is a great sport, fast-growing sport. Over 17,000 card holders are competing for $10,000 today. You're not going to believe what you see at the net. Let me bring in my partner, Bruce Goodich. Bruce, the director of the WFA, a former champion. Lots of areas of discipline to look at today.
Well, actually, what we're going to see today, Irv, is we're going to see footbag freestyle. Our hot dog event combines routines choreographed to music in both singles and teams, men's and women's. We'll also see the fast action of footbag net, played over a 5-foot-high net, tennis or volleyball with your feet, unbelievable spikes and digs over a 5-foot net, and a court that's 44 by 20 feet.
I'm looking forward to it. For the most fun you can have with your feet, you keep it right here. We'll be back with all the action right after this. Welcome back. We're in Golden, Volk Gymnasium. Irv Brown, Bruce Goodich with you. We are set for what should really be fun. These are tricks to music.
This is Julie McClung and Constance Constable. They took third at last year's competition, and that's where they're going to finish up right here at this one. Here's Jody Welch and Tricia George. Really some beautiful competition by these two. You see them work together as a team here. They do a lot of two-bag work in their opening segment of their routine. You'll see them passing the bag back and forth, little crossing patterns there. There's one of their drops out of their 9 total that really cost them.
Well, it's so subjective, you just can't let this happen, but easy for me to sit here and say.
They're gonna coordinate their ending part of their routine to a nice finish. The crowd enjoys it. I don't think they're that happy with it.
Tricks to music. All right, Lisa McDaniel and the ever-personal Sam Lumber. If we could just get Sam to come out of her shell, you know?
I'll tell you, these two have worked together in team freestyle for several years now. In fact, they're the 91 team freestyle. They're coming back to defend their title. They are graceful, and they put a lot of difficult moves together here with 2 footbags, and that's one of the things the judges look for here. And you see some nice around the worlds to a lot of good co-op here, really mirroring one another.
Do a great job.
Put a nice finish. There's an unfortunate drop on an easy move. They shouldn't do that, and Lisa knows it. There's their finish. They are graceful, and they put a beautiful routine together, and I think they're happy with that.
Let's take a look at what happened a little earlier. Look at the grace and beauty here. Sam Lundberg went to the same high school as O.J. Simpson.
Boy, and this is a very creative move by the two, using the sole, which is tough. They're going to finish that co-op segment now with a little single work from each other, passing the footbag back and forth, showing a little of their own dexterity here, and that's a, boy, that's a pincher, letting it go to Sam's toe delay. These two spend quite a bit of time working on this routine. In fact, Lisa comes out from Berkeley, California to compete for a month.
Look at the results here. Boy, I'll tell you what, Sam Lundberg, Lisa McDaniel, one in California, one in Colorado. They get together, and they're the winners. Jody Wells, Tricia George, Julie McClung, Constance Constable. Well, men's competition coming up. A couple of your friends here, Bruce.
Boy, Etienne Constable and Brent Welsh, they took second place in the 91 Worlds, and they only finished third in this competition. Now, here's a couple of fellas that are both from Eugene, Oregon, Dennis Ross and Jan Lynn. They specialize in footbag freestyle. That's what they spend working out time all year long, is for the finals of this competition here, and they put together some very innovative co-op moves where they really show teamwork. And I'll tell you what, here are these two really shine in competition when it comes to team freestyle.
You know what? I like their enthusiasm. They get excited.
Sure they do. And in fact, being their event, you see some inside stall passes here, a very difficult move. Those are 1 passes. Now they're just doing them 1 at a time. Now they're going to switch to 1 footbag here, and then again, they go in and they share equal work in all of their routine.
Bruce, it's so subjective. What about outfits? Is that important to a judge?
It plays a big part, and they're looking at everything to impress the judges. Now, here, Dennis and Jan only had 2 drops in their routine. This is one of the drops here. May cost them a little deduction because this competition is fierce. You're going to see them come up to the ending now where they work and do a real nice job with some sole passes here. And a beautiful job to the ending, and Jan Lynn is very excited about it.
Give me 5. I'll tell you what, I like how they get excited. Greg Nelson, Jay Moldenhauer.
Both from Michigan. These guys are specialists also in this team freestyle event. In fact, in 1990, they won this competition. You'll see something from Jay and Greg that is A little unlike any of the other competitors where they really intertwine their legs and do a lot of real co-op movement. You see them switching sides here. That shows dexterity, using both sides of the body and both feet equally.
Jay does Frisbee shows, a lot of school assemblies that is. And Greg, I remember the Flying Aces. He went to the same high school as Todd Light. Those of you who are football fans will remember him at Notre Dame. Well, they had a little drop.
A little drop there cost them some deduction, especially in a move that Jay shouldn't be dropping. You'll see here, there again is their close, real tight leg work, known as a crab work into the delay series. Both feet, right and left. You see them switching sides. I've been playing this game a long time, Irv, and I'll tell you what, there's very little that I can see that they're doing wrong in this competition right now. All they're going to have to do is seal this one to the ending, and they'll have the title of 92 World Freestyle Champions.
All subjective voting by the judges.
Even though Jay and Greg had 4 drops in their routine, I think the difficulty of their moves and the intricacy of all of their tricks is going to be enough.
I'm getting dizzy watching them.
Well, there's the ending, even a co-op to the ending, and he takes it off his neck, and they've done a nice job.
And there are the results. Our winners, Greg Nelson and Jay Moldenhauer. Didn't they do a great job?
Yep,
Terrific competition.
Well, I'll tell you, after their finish at the 91 Worlds, they're happy about this one.
Well, why wouldn't they be happy? I'll guarantee you I'd be happy too. All right, we need to step aside. Up next, women's doubles net. Welcome back. Irv Brown, Bruce Gudich, the director of the World Footbag Association. We're in Golden. It's a carnival atmosphere, and we're ready for action. Tricia George, Jody Welsh. They'll be taking on a couple of very good competitors, Julie McClung and Constance Constable. Constable's 34, McClung is 27. They're very good friends, Bruce, and like all net games, it's something that everybody has played. If you've played volleyball, you can't score unless you serve.
That's exactly right. And just like in tennis, they serve from the back baseline. They must serve cross court. You can only score while you're serving. That court is 44 feet long by 20 feet wide, and it's divided in half by a 5-foot high net. And in the doubles event, Irv, these competitors are allowed a total of 3 kicks, just like you would in doubles volleyball. But you don't have to use all 3 kicks here. As you can see, the competitors communicating on this court. And, oh, there's a sole spike that Constance unable to retrieve.
And there's no knees allowed. You can only kick it. That makes it tougher.
That's exactly right. Strictly a foot game. And you'll see them working it over the net.
Let's pick it up here. Good look for replay.
Exactly right. Here is Constance sending it back over to Jody Welch. She makes a set to her partner that's not a very decent set. Tricia George unable to retrieve it to send it back over the net.
Now this is McClung and Constable in the purple going against Welsh. Welsh is 31, George is 30. And if you're interested in what they do for a living, Jody is a 3rd grade teacher. Tricia George is a therapist, works with the mental health software engineer for Julie McClung, and a teacher of learning handicap for Constance Constable. They spent a lot of time in the World Footbag competition.
All right, now here's a replay that's going to show Julie McClung sending it nice and deep. Tricia George sending a set to her partner to the front of the net. Tricia putting away a nice inside crescent kick to a back kick of Constance, unable to bring it across the net.
What do you mean by crescent kick?
Well, that's an inside swipe where they set it to the front of the net and usually bringing it down into the court. And Tricia George, not being very tall, makes a real nice play.
Tricia George went to school with Beth Long, the Olympic skier. Look at the team.
That was a sole spike that just hit the top of the tape. Now here's game point of our first game. Best 2 out of 3 games to 15 points. It's 14, and she sends it wide.
All right, so you come up, customary high fives. It used to be handshakes, Bruce. Now it's high fives.
Of course, in all sports, I think now, Irv. Here's the opening of game 2. You'll see these players use a lot of screens now, too, especially in the women's event, where height is not a factor, but screening the opposing team from the view of the footbag is used quite a bit.
Look at the set there. It's just like volleyball, except you can't spike it. Looking for a dink here.
Well, there's that inside swipe that we saw Tricia George use a little bit earlier in game 1.
I'll tell you what. You got to like stuff like this if you've never seen it before, and I have.
This is a nice long rally, and you can play that footbag off the net as long as you don't touch it.
Let's pick up the replay here.
You'll see them switch sides, communicating very well. There's a set by Tricia George to her partner, Jody Welch. There's that inside swipe we talked about, making a nice play, getting back into the court.
Jody Welch does a lot of distance running to stay in shape. Most of these people are just in great shape.
Well, in fact, Irv, I'll tell you, Jody Welch and her partner, Tricia George, do a lot of training in the off-season with the men, and that has a big result on when they come out in the women's finals to compete as well.
Jody has spent a lot of time with the Berkeley Footbag Club. All right, look at, once again, what's going on in the white. George and Welch, they're going against McClung and Constable. We're at Parford Park. 92 Footbag Championships.
They've got a pretty good lead here, and I think they've padded to 13-3. And there's Julie McClung sending it back over. There's a nice soul spike to a little bit of a
is
dig.
that well done? I tell you what, you got to appreciate it when you don't have a lot of foot coordination like I don't. That was something else.
Now here we're going to see that set up to the front of the net. A little soul touch, just bringing it over for the dink. And now we're coming up to match point here. Welch to serve. There's a set. And sending it back over and just on one. And that can surprise them sometimes and bring them right over.
Outstanding. There they are, the winners. What a job they did.
For the second year in a row, Jody
right.
Welch and Tricia George taking the title.
We step aside. You're watching the 92 World Footbag Championships. Beautiful day, and some of the crowd at the 92 World Footbag Championships. We should have a good one here, Bruce.
Over 1,000 competitors on hand. That's Brent Welch and Jimmy Caveney, two veterans. However, Brent has never finished better than 5th in this doubles event.
They'll get all they want today from these two. We're talking about Kenny Schultz and Randy Mulder. Schultz has been around a long time.
Yeah, but I'll tell you, they've went on a partner pairing spree because they've never competed together. Kenny Schultz has been with veteran competitor Mag Hughes for a number of years. Here's a little action earlier in this doubles competition. We see Jimmy Caveney with a nice bicycle kick to just kind of make a desperate save. You'll see that leg of Kenny Schultz getting way over the net a lot in this doubles competition.
You can kick it 3 times in doubles. We'll see singles action a little later on. You only kick it twice.
Unlike the women's competition here, Irv, you see a lot more sets and a lot more spikes and a lot more digs because they're getting over the top of the net.
All right, let's pick it up at the net here. Once again, look at the effort here.
Unbelievable rally we've got coming up here with a spike from Brent Welch, a nice save, and a beautiful set to his partner Randy Mulder, bringing a beautiful set. Kenny getting a lot of height on this one, and these two try to make a block to no avail, and you see them going down with some desperation.
All right, it's 10-4 now. We'll pick it up here. Once again, Welch, who went to the same high school as Robin Williams. He could use a little humor right now. They're in trouble.
They're going to use a lot of communication on this court against the two, Kenny Schultz and Randy Mulder. Here's a replay. And we'll see another set by Randy Mulder. Kenny getting that height over the net, and he's going to push it just wide, trying to obviously push it into an area of the court where Jimmy Caveney is not.
All right, once again, now this is a tough team.
Welch to serve, 5 serving 10, and there's a spike that we're going to see quite a bit of. Now here's, that's a soul set, or excuse me, a soul spike by Randy Mulder that is going just a little bit high, and he's unable to make the spike on that serve.
Schultz is 6'1", and Mulder is 6'2", and they use that height effectively. Oh, once again, this
unable to make a good set here. We'll take a look at it just one more time. A tough serve by Jimmy Caveney, sending that set just wide, and his partner Randy Mulder unable to get to it.
Once again, trying to stay alive.
7 serving 14. Kenny Schultz getting over the net.
Let's pick this up again. Look at the set. Set it up just like you do in volleyball, except you can't use your hands, Bruce. You got to go up and kick it.
That's right. And you see some of that action where Kenny Schultz at the net can get some good height. Here's game point. Schultz to serve. There's Jimmy Caveney making a nice set to his partner. There's a toe save by Randy Mulder. Another toe that's going to go just wide. Well,
they win game 1. There's your winners there. Earlier today, they had a chance to go head-to-head. I'll tell you something, this was something to see, Bruce, because you're talking about a guy who's been around a long, long time, the guy in the red, Kenny Schultz, against the virtual newcomer, Randy Mulder.
He is a newcomer, and I'll tell you what, though, as a newcomer last year at the 91 Worlds, a surprising upset. He takes the finals of the 91 championships, and we're seeing him again in the finals here. He's a tough competitor. He loves to win, and you'll see some action here where the two are going to use a lot of the sets. Now, in the singles competition, they're only allowed 2 kicks, and they really need to use both kicks to bring that footbag to the front of the net where they both like to spike that footbag straight down.
Mulder was a very good basketball player. Let's pick this up again. He sets himself up.
But he's too deep in the court here, and you'll see Kenny able to bring it with a short shot by Randy to the front of the net for a nice put-away cross-court.
9-2, Kenny Schultz. And Kenny Schultz went to the same high school as Dale Murphy. Not a bad athlete. We get him involved in this one, Bruce.
Yeah, and you'll see Kenny using his height. He's unable to make that set happen for him. You'll see he makes a set to the front of the net, but it's too far over the net. Can't retrieve it. He knows it's a bad shot at this time. Randy makes a nice spike, sending it right into the back of the court.
So Randy really coming on now. It's 9-6. Randy Muller is from this area. He went to high school, Denver Christian, played basketball for Dick Cotty. Let's pick this up.
Here's a nice set to the front of the net where we're going to use an outside push shot to the back of the court. Kenny's going to try to make a dig here, but he's unable to get underneath it, and he's going to push that one just wide and into the crowd.
Mulder is just a big, rangy guy that is able to do some good things. Down 2.
He's got the body for this game, I'll tell you what, or if he's a tall, lanky fellow that really uses his height to his advantage and gets his leg over the top of the net. And
let's pick this up again. Schultz has won so many championships, 36 world titles going into this competition.
There's a nice outside push by Kenny Schultz, and you see Randy having no trouble with the dig and bringing a nice, and that's going to go in, and Kenny thought it might have gone long. And Schultz to serve, 9 serving 10.
Oh,
set to the front of the net.
Look at this, Bruce.
He makes a nice set to the front of the net where he likes the footbag in order to make this cross-court spike. And there's not much you can do to that. And you see the disgust on Kenny Schultz. Game point here of the first game. Kenny's going to send that one along. First game going to Randy Mulder, 15-9.
Keep in mind, this is a pup going against the veteran. Mulder, I had a chance to talk to him. He loves it. Let's pick it up here. Kenny Schultz, game 2, leading by 1.
Nice set by Randy Mulder. Can't do a lot with it, and you'll see Kenny making a set, a beautiful toe save, and he's going to spike it again. Randy's able to dig that one, and that's a beautiful soul spike. That's just like a bail on a mousetrap.
Picture perfect. Look at this. Watch him set himself up.
He's making
here.
2 beautiful digs here, Irv. And he's able to take everything that Kenny's able to dish out here. There's that soul spike straight down to the ground. There's nothing you can do with a shot like that.
Kenny's serving for the winner, and it's out. And game 2 goes to Kenny Schultz as he beats Randy Mulder 15-12. So we got the big one coming up, Bruce.
They've split games here, and Randy Mulder serving 7-12. Kenny Schultz making a nice spike there. Let's take another look at it. Kenny Schultz makes a nice set to the front of the net. That outside soul push, leaping ability of Schultz. And now we're going to go to game and match point. Schultz to serve. Randy makes that opportune set to the front of the net. We've got a nice rally coming up here with a nice set by Kenny. He's deep in the court, and Randy Molnar's going to bring that inside swiping. Can't do anything with it. You see some disgust as Kenny Schultz takes the game.
All right, there's our winner. We'll step aside and come back. Once again, you're watching the 92 World Footbag Championships. Well, we're back and everybody's having a good time. Let's pick up the doubles. Remember in our first one, 15-7, a win for Schultz and Mulder. So Jim Caveney and Brent Welsh got their work cut out here, Bruce.
Boy, they're scrappers, too. And I'll tell you what, Kenny Schultz and Randy Mulder coming out to a big lead here. Randy Mulder making some difficult sets for his partner, Kenny Schultz, and he's running them all down. We saw him go into the banners just a little earlier, and he's going to put that one away. They want that point awful bad.
Look at this. What a team.
Good.
Watch this.
Nice set. Randy making a bad set to his partner, Kenny Schultz, into the banners. Later on in this same point, you'll see Randy making some difficult sets for his partner, Kenny Schultz. He's trying to run down everything. Randy just sending it over. Jimmy Caveney bringing it over. Should have set to his partner here because Randy Mulder puts it away for the winner.
Oh, once again, Mulder, the big guy, 6'2", just a pup.
Schultz serving at 7-0. They've come out with a big lead here in game 2. There's that outside push by Brent Welsh. Kenny getting over the top of the net. There's a nice save off the net by Jimmy Caveney to a set, and that looks like a net foul to me.
take another look at that, Bruce.
Kenny Schultz goes up for that outside push. Brent Welch making a nice save. You see it go into the net there. Jimmy Caveney bringing it off the net. Randy Mulder setting to the front of the net where Kenny likes it so well, except he drags his foot across the net. That's a side out.
Well, that'll happen. There's the story here, and once again, Schultz and Mulder having things their own way here today at Parfet Park.
12-2, a big lead. And there's a nice soul tap by Randy. Let's look at that one again. Jimmy Caveney making a set to the front. Brent Welch making a nice spike. Not any trouble for Randy Mulder. Sets it back to the front of the net. You'll see that soul fish right into the upper body of Jimmy Caveney. That's a foul and a point.
All right, moving ahead. Welch to serve.
You'll see Kenny make a nice opportunity for a dink, but Jimmy reads it real well. Sends it back to Randy Mulder's back kick, and you'll see him set to the front of the net. Tries to make a nice save. Here, we'll take a look at it again. Randy at the front of the net sends it cross court. Jimmy can't do much with it, and he just pushes that one wide.
The long legs of Mulder.
This is game and match point. Jimmy Caveney's just going to push it right in the net. They're looking pretty tired and unable to do much with it.
Well, I'll tell you what, they just had it their way. Schultz and Mulder the winner. Welch and Caveney, there'll be another day. There's your story. 15-7, 15-2. I'll tell you what, did a great job. And the crowd really appreciated what went on. Hey, the World Footbag Association is for the players for a free copy of Footbag World Magazine and a lifetime membership. Call toll-free today. Here's the number, 1-800-878-8797. For my partner, Bruce Goodich, the Executive Director of the WFA, I'm Irv Brown. Thanks for looking in.